So hey y'all, I'm back with another video. So tonight's video is yet again another Chioma Chats video podcast edition. So by the title, we're going to be talking about Kylie Jenner being called out for looking old. Now this has been something that the general public and social media has been saying about Kylie Jenner for a while, but I think it finally manifested into a very distinct visual that truly confirms why we've had a lot of conversations about beauty, enhancements, and the reality of them. Kylie Jenner is 26 years old. She is a mother of two, and she has really been a beauty mogul, whether you want to agree with that or not. Yes, it's enhanced beauty, it's artificial beauty, but we can't deny the impact that Kylie Jenner had on the beauty world through her line Kylie Cosmetics since its inception. Kylie Jenner and I are the same age, and I only say that because I remember her come up and how impactful she was to my demographic and my peers as she was doing all the things that she's done up until this point. When she dropped Kylie Cosmetics, I vividly remember going to school and everybody talking about it. Everybody wanting a lip kit, everybody trying to figure out how she transformed paper thin lips into big juicy DSLs. And of course, back then, being young was one thing, but I think the general public was also pretty naive to the types of enhancements that are more commonly known today. Nowadays, we see people with lip injections or BBL or lipo, and we can kind of view it with our own two naked eyes and determine what it is. But back then, because it wasn't as publicly common, I think a lot of us still believe that some people just won the genetic lottery, or some people just have the inside secrets to make themselves what they are. And Kylie Jenner definitely played on this, and I don't necessarily think it was all her fault, which I've said in many videos. I think she comes from a family that streamlines artificial beauty and has been for a long time. I also think she grew up in an area that definitely hammers the idea of perfection and casual enhancements, being that she's from LA, and I also think that the expectation of her ways accelerated once her family started to become more well-known and a huge celebrity empire that they've grown to become. And I think when you look at Kylie Jenner now in 2024 as a 26-year-old young woman, the product of all of that is now right in front of us. So recently, Kylie Jenner went to Paris Fashion Week, and she definitely did not look like the Kylie Jenner that we see on Instagram or the Kylie Jenner that we remember her to be. She looks significantly older than her age. You could tell that her facial enhancements are either in a state where they need to be refreshed, or if they've been overdone so much that it's causing her to look different. And I'm not saying these things to even rag on her. I'm saying these things because it's very obvious, and it's a super big cautionary tale. At the end of the day, whether or not you like the Kardashians, I do think their entire family dynamic is interesting because for so long, people championed their beauty, their entertainment, and their feasibility to move through the social ladder. But I want to say it was a few years ago where people started to withdraw because of many factors. I would say one of them being that everything they did or do became common, where a lot of average, everyday people are getting enhancements, and it's no longer exclusive to celebrity culture. But also people realizing that a lot of the things that they've said and done over the years are either tone deaf, disrespectful, or outright lies. Whether it's about what they look like, the reality of certain situations they've promoted, or just the orchestrated approach to trying to remain in the public eye. That notwithstanding, I find it interesting that Kylie Jenner is being seen in this light because the word beauty and the Kardashians have gone hand in hand in pop culture for so long, and because the beauty trends have shifted and people no longer have a fascination for the Kardashians like they used to, this new look that we see is a revelation. I thought this was very interesting because I feel like I knew that this would eventually happen, and it's just very shocking to see it come into fruition. So I've broken this video down into one overall main talking point, so without further ado, let's get right into this video. So my one and overall main talking point is answering the question, why does Kylie look so old? And I think it's pretty simple and straightforward. It's because the more you manipulate your face with things that your face doesn't need, or things that have been introduced to your body prematurely, of course it's going to age you. Let's backtrack. Kylie Jenner started getting lip injections prematurely, and by premature, I think if you get any type of filler prior to the age of like 35, that is considered premature. Now, I know that everyone's face and skin is different, but I think people have been moving the goalposts on things like this because it's become more common. But if we're being real, filler is not meant for women 30 and below. I don't even think it's meant for women 39 and below because I don't think anyone looks that old in their 30s. Now, I did read somewhere that starting at the age 25, your face loses 1% elasticity each year until you check out. And of course, this is probably just an average. For some people, it may be more or less. And there's definitely factors such as race, diet, products that you use that all factor into that. For Kylie, she started getting these injections as a teenager, so it was definitely premature and definitely jump-started the clock on her look, and the results are showing at a very young age of 26. Now, I know people think that once you hit 25 plus, you're now considered 30, and for some reason, people think 30 years old is old, but I'm here to tell you it is not. Not because I fit this and I don't want to age, that is not my mindset. It's because I'm pretty sure there are women in the comments that will tell you that being 26 years old is very young and that you're still at a very tender age where In reality, yes, you're grown, but life really hasn't hit you as hard yet. I actually can't wait to be in my 30s. I feel like that's when I'm gonna be even more happy. But that notwithstanding, Kylie Jenner looks old because she's allowed her family, her pressures, her own insecurities, her accessibility, her money, and her desire to be perfect get to her. And regardless if you like the Kardashians or not, it's still a very sad tale because it's unnecessary and she was a kid when this all started. According to ScarlettKnows.com, it says that fillers are a great option for patients seeking a softer, more youthful look. However, if used improperly or overused, fillers can have negative long-term consequences. In fact, patients who do not properly use filler could actually speed up their skin's aging process, resulting in older looking skin. And I think that's what happened with her. These pictures are very unflattering. I know that some of them aren't edited or they're just raw images based off of somebody else's lens that may not put the same edits and retouching that Kylie uses, but even still, she doesn't look good. That's the nicest way I can say it. And I wish her family would have been less lax about her approach to enhancements, being that I really don't think she needed a lot of the things that she's done. I feel like at a certain point she looked good and she could have stopped there, but it's clear that she continued to push the envelope on her look, and if she doesn't stop, it'll be much worse. I noticed that other people who took pictures with Kylie during this event didn't really post that many pictures of her, probably per her request, and honestly, I probably would have done the same thing if I was her. Nobody wants to have unflattering photos of themselves for millions to see, especially when they're hyper-focused on a negative component of your look, especially your face. I feel like part of this might be her genetics kind of overpowering all of the enhancements, but I really feel like I know at 26, the average girl, even if you're a white girl, doesn't look like this. She looks significantly older than 26. She kind of looks older than some of her siblings, and she's the youngest one. I think the Kardashians have finally gotten to a point where they have to realize that their look and their tactics are becoming outdated, and that's as a collective. I still think Kim Kardashian is a beautiful woman. She's always been naturally pretty even without enhancements, and she looks great even now. So whatever Kim did or has done was probably somewhat subtle, and I say that with a grain of salt in comparison to some of her other sisters. But Kim K definitely hit the genetic lottery as well, where she is naturally beautiful as is. And I don't really like comparing sisters. I don't like when people used to compare my sister and I based off of looks because it really does suck. I don't know if anybody feels the same way. But being that Kylie has a different father than her 3 older sisters, I think that also plays a role. Kylie is like 100% white, and I do think that Armenians are considered white, but it's more of an ethnic white culture that is mixed with white to create Kim, Kourtney, and Khloe. And I know some people don't believe that Khloe Kardashian has the same father as Kim and Kourtney, but I think she does. Speaking of Khloe, who remembers when their grandmother posted a picture of Khloe that had no edits, no enhancements, no Photoshop or anything, and Khloe was adamant about removing the photo. When you look at the photo, I thought Khloe looked really good. She actually looked better than some of her more edited photos, and she was literally in a bikini, her hair tied, minimal makeup, and I thought she looked fine. But there's some type of imbalance or some type of body dysmorphia that transcends through all of them, minus Kourtney, that really shows in their actions. And those actions are from the things that they do to their bodies, but also the way how they react to themselves when they're exposed for what they actually look like. I've never seen any of these women in person. I actually would love to, just to see if I can see if they truly look how they look, but we all know that social media is where people put on their best and their best foot forward, and then reality is a version of it that may or may not exist. I think what Kylie needs to do is realize that beauty really is a subjective thing, and chasing perfection after all these years is only going to be a detriment to her in the long run. She has 2 children, and that could definitely be an effect on her overall look, but she has the resources to alter her body in different ways. I see she also kind of downsized her big butt that she used to have. They all did. But when it comes to her face, she has to remember that she's way too young and was always way too young to do the things that she's done. Check out Lori Hill's video on YouTube to see what she thinks Kylie Jenner has gotten done over the years, and you'll see that the most minute details that you wouldn't think are doable or have been done have probably been done by her. I remember watching Lori's video, and she discussed how Kylie has probably changed her ears as well as the placement of her brows and so much more, and it's just things that you wouldn't think nobody would touch, but she probably has. All of that work is going to catch up to her, and it's starting to, and I think this was a reality check for Kylie Jenner. She does not look 26, and I know on their show, I'm not gonna lie, I watched the show, she made this somewhat snappy and sassy comment, and she said, "Why is everyone calling me old all of a sudden?" And then her and Kendall started laughing it off. So it's not like she doesn't see this stuff. She knows what people are saying about her, and I think this Paris Fashion Week event really showed that the internet and the general public isn't lying. She does look at least 10 years older than what she is, and nobody wants to look that way. Hopefully she can find it within herself and her subconscious and self-esteem to just relax on a lot of stuff. Unfortunately, once you start to fill your body with anything, you're stretching the skin and ruining the elasticities. So your body has to stay filled in those sections unless the filler will either move or relocate relocate to other parts of your face or just look less plump once the filler does dissolve. And also, all the time I thought filler can just easily be dissolved, but from doing these types of videos and reading y'all's comments, I've realized that filler doesn't really go anywhere. Sometimes it just migrates to other places. So I wouldn't suggest it, especially for young people. I think it should be used with discernment for women of a particular age once it's actually needed more than wanted. Kylie Jenner especially has influenced a lot of young women to get unnecessary enhancements. And I remember on the show, they tried to address this. She said that she wanted to talk to her sisters about the type of beauty influence that they put on society, but I don't remember them taking that much accountability at all. Kylie just said that she wishes she never touched her body, she regrets getting her boobs done at 19, and I think she does realize what she's done, hence why we don't see her in the limelight as much as we used to.
I wish I never touched anything to begin with. All of us just need to have a bigger conversation about the beauty standards that we're setting.
I hope she takes heed to what has transpired with her and has a therapist to work out some of the insecurities that I don't think were put on her just by her. I think the family and social media have created some of this, but she definitely needs to take accountability to realize that regardless, you just have to have that self-esteem and confidence to not go overboard, because this will always be the result. I hope this is a cautionary tale for young women, and I hope that people can start to accept themselves more and realize that the grass is not always greener on the other side when it comes to enhancing your body, changing yourself around for trends in social media, and seeking social acceptance. So that is it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Please let me know your commentary on my commentary down below. What do you think? What do you know? Let me know. If you haven't already, go stream my song Rich Auntie. It is out on all platforms. The link is down below. Also check out my TikTok with me and my bae. We did a little vacation and I'm trying to get my TikTok up, so go follow me on there. And lastly, don't forget to follow me on all of my social media networks, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye y'all.
24/7 we stacking, racking. I'm a bad bitch, you fraction, lacking. Counting bread while he playing Madden. I'm in the building, bitch, what's happening? Queen Chioma, pure satisfaction. I'm really a vet, these joints need practice. Running in circles around them, we laughing. QTM girls like camera action. Wanna book the girls, you need 1,000 Andrew Jackson. Add it up and do the math, ain't no subtraction.